Good morning, West Rocks. Today we are live from the Panther newsroom. My name is Isabella Kibbe.
And my name is Sophie Tullio.
Today is Wednesday, January 26th, and is an A Day.
A reminder that quarter two ends tomorrow, Thursday, January 27th. This is the last week of the quarter, so be sure to turn in any missing assignments. Quarter three will begin Friday. Students with semester courses such as Family Consumer Science, Art, Electronic Music, and Digital Literacy will switch classes, along with switches to Health or back to PE.
The vaccine clinic, originally scheduled for last week, will be at West Rocks tomorrow, Thursday, January 27th, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Dose 1, Dose 2, and boosters will be administered. Students must have turned in a parental consent form in order to receive a vaccine. Hard copies are available in the main office. A reminder to staff to review fire drill protocols and have your emergency binders available.
Good morning, scholars. West Rocks National Junior Honor Society will meet tomorrow, Thursday, January 27th. This meeting will take place directly after school in room 191, Miss Powell's class. Be on time and contact Miss Powell with any questions.
Norwalk Public Schools has the privilege of hosting our U.S. Secretary of Education, Miguel Cardona. This will be a virtual visit with students from all of our middle schools and high schools. Each will take turns asking questions. We will learn more about him by watching a 7-minute video, then get the chance to submit a question to be asked.
The Google Form link is located on our website under the Panther News tab. After the video, all students should click on the link to submit a question they would like to ask. If you are not sure, you can complete it at any time during the school day.
Go ahead.
Hello, students and staff. Norwalk Public Schools is excited about an upcoming visit from the United States Secretary of Education, Dr. Miguel Cardona. On January 28th, Dr. Cardona will be meeting virtually with the entire district to discuss how he went from being a student in a Connecticut classroom to being the head of education for our country. The Department of Education falls under the executive branch of the U.S. federal government and was started in 1980 by former President Jimmy Carter. It is responsible for providing services, resources, and funding based on the policies that reflect the educational vision of the President of the United States and his or her cabinet. This department is responsible for providing equal access to education for all students in the United States, regardless of their location, demographics, or abilities. Their main focus is to improve the quality of teaching and learning for the American public school system. The mission statement for the Department of Education reads, "Our mission is to promote student achievement and preparation for global competitiveness by fostering educational excellence and ensuring equal access." To summarize, the Department of Education is looking to promote the United States as one of the top countries in education by supporting all students, as well as the adults in American schools. The Department of Education wants to make sure that no matter where you live in the United States, you are getting all of the supplies and programs that help you be your best in school. The Department of Education is focusing on equity in education. In his first statement as Secretary of Education, Dr. Cardona addressed the disparities in the American education system and promised to focus on opportunity gaps, providing in-person learning through the COVID-19 pandemic, and ensuring all students have access to high-quality education and career pathways. He wrote, "There are still unacceptable disparities in high school graduation rates, and higher education is still out of reach for too many students, including learners of color, those from low-income families, and those, as I was, who would be the first in their families to attend. These inequities aren't just holding our children back from achieving their full potential, they're holding our nation back too. We all benefit when our children have high-quality opportunities to develop their skills and build their knowledge, and then share their gifts and talents with the world." As the Secretary of Education, Dr. Cardona heads the Department of Education. He was appointed by the 46th President of the United States, Joe Biden, as part of the President's cabinet. He is responsible for managing the money and policies for education at the federal level. Dr. Cardona was sworn into his role by Vice President Kamala Harris on March 2nd, 2021. Dr. Cardona's passions and beliefs are shaped by his experiences. He was born in Meriden, Connecticut, to Puerto Rican parents and is part of the Latino community. He grew up going to school in the Meriden public school system, a school system he would later go on to work for. He is very proud of his family, which consists of his wife and 2 children.
hispano toma las riendas de la educación de este país. Su principal reto, la promesa del presidente Joe Biden de una reapertura durante los primeros 100 días de gobierno. Miguel Cardona es ahora el secretario de Educación. Te preguntas, bueno, ¿quién es él? Yo te explico. Es hijo de padres puertorriqueños, pero nació en Connecticut y se educó en escuelas públicas donde aprendió inglés. Tiene 2 hijos con su esposa Marisa Pérez. Sus primeros peldaños en la educación los hizo como maestro de escuela, director galardonado, superintendente asistente en el sistema escolar y primer comisionado hispano de educación en Connecticut.
Dr. Cardona has a long history in education. He began his teaching career as a 4th grade teacher in the same elementary school that he attended as a student. At the age of 28, he then became a principal, making him the youngest principal in the state of Connecticut. Next, he was hired to be the head of performance and evaluation, and later the assistant superintendent. In both of those roles, he worked with the teachers and students in his district to improve the Meriden schools. His work was recognized as one of the best in the state, and he was named the Connecticut Commissioner of Education, the job he had before being selected by President Biden. Here is a video of Dr. Cardona introducing himself to the country after being named Secretary of Education. He believes in hard work, helping others, building strong relationships, and being respectful.
Hello, I'm Miguel Cardona, and I'm honored to serve you and our nation's students as the 12th Secretary of Education. We're living through one of the biggest disruptions in education in our nation's history, and we don't have a second to waste. Learning fuels opportunity, and right now, for too many, learning is at risk. I know what's at stake for our nation's students, educators, and parents, because I am all of those things. As a student, I was blessed to attend public schools in my hometown of Meriden, Connecticut. Education expanded my horizons, helped me become the first in my family to graduate college, and made me a lifelong learner. I'm privileged to have served as an educator. In this very same school where I currently sit, I served as a teacher. This is the 4th grade classroom where I started as a teacher over 20 years ago. I later worked as a principal and assistant superintendent in the same community that gave me so much growing up. To America's students and parents, as Secretary of Education, I'm always going to have your perspective at the table. I'm going to be listening. I want to do everything in my power to make sure that every decision that's made at the agency, not only by me, by everyone that we work with, is centered on what's best for you. We need to respect the teaching profession for what it is, the foundation of all other opportunities. We've seen the important role educators have had this past year. En la unión está la fuerza. We know that there's strength in unity. Doesn't that lesson drive and define us in the United States of America? Isn't that what we do when times are tough? We face adversity, we solve problems, we come out stronger. So today, let's join together, students, educators, parents, caregivers, advocates, state, local, and tribal leaders. Everyone who believes in the promise of our learners and the promise of our country. Together, we got this.
That's just a brief introduction to the Connecticut native who will be joining all of Norwalk schools on Friday, January 28th from 10 to 11:30 a.m. in a virtual event. As part of this meet and greet, Dr. Cardona wants to hear from you. Do you have any questions for Dr. Cardona? Still curious about what the Secretary of Education really does while at work? Want to know what it's like working with President Biden and Vice President Harris? Give your questions to us, and we will be sure to share them with Dr. Cardona so he can answer for you. Both students and teachers have access by scanning the QR code here with your phone or device, or through the link shared with your building administrators. We look forward to this exciting event and hearing from you.
Have a great day, everyone.